going to cook some herrings now, which used to be very prolific around the coasts of Northern Ireland, especially, you know, around Portavogie. A wee bit scarcer now, but we're lucky to get some. I'm going to do that with some dulse. So this is dulse, this is the seaweed. So, but what I've done is I've slightly cooked the dulse, so just sort of simmered it with some water. And then we're going to do this into like an apple salad with a wee bit of scallion and parsley. So first thing, the apple. So what I want to do is just slice the apple and then make it into like wee matchsticks. And then that way it can we can just eat it very easily. And apple and dulse is lovely together. So you've got the lovely sweetness and the salt contrast. So just slice these up then into little matchsticks. So okay, so that's just a nice eating apple here as well. So that goes in. And herrings really and they would have been salted, and then I remember even my dad saying that he remembers people coming around in a cart to sell herrings, and they went in a big bucket, and that would have been, you'd had that all year round. So it's something that sort of died out, but you can still get them, and I think they're lovely oily fish. Some scallion into this then, just nice and finely sliced on the scallion. And I'm just going to very lightly dress this with just some vinegar, which will cut through the saltiness of the dulse. So because I cooked the dulse, you're taking off a bit of the salt, so and then you're left with something that's easier to eat. But we're going to put a wee bit of the dried dulse in as well. So some of this dulse. So we'll just take this and just really just shred it quite roughly. There we are. And then you see I'm going to take some of this dulse here, and I'm going to use this as a kind of a seasoning. So it's quite chewy, as you can see. Got a wee good chop up there, and that'll go in and that'll just sort of season the whole thing. A bit of parsley, just a small amount, about a teaspoon. That goes in, and then a wee splash of a nice splash of the cider vinegar, a splash of our rapeseed oil, and then all we'll do is just give that a mix around. So just want to just to coat everything. So that's just a nice sort of light salad with our apple and our dulse. So the dulse again works really well with apple, and this will work really well with the fish too. And just that nice, the apple's sweet, but we've got sweet, salty dulse, and then we've got this nice sharpness from the vinegar. So this will all work really well and help cut through the oily fish. So what I've done with the herring is just pat it dry, and then we're just going to season it. A wee bit of sea salt just on the skin, and I'm going to cook it skin side down. And again, nice hot pan and a swirl of oil, and just get that really hot. So I'll get a nice smoky pan here for our herring. They're so thin they don't take that long to cook, so it's really just really hot. So that's kind of smoking now, so just put it in away from yourself, press it down a wee bit, it's quite fresh. So I buy these from a fishmonger in St George's Market in Belfast, and they're from Portavogie, and they always talk about hern, so it's not herring, it's hern. So I always think of these as that. So a wee bit of salt just on the other side there. And then just because we're going to get a nice bit of colour, I'm just put a tiny bit of butter just into the pan as well. Just when you're cooking fish with the skin on, it just gives it a nice wee glow on it. And you can sort of see that cooking up the side there now, and it's And again, with this fish, you can tell it's oily because there's another wee bit of oil has just come out of them, you know, which is it's great. You get that lovely smell, sort of iodine-y smell, nearly like the seaweed. And we'll just lift that down a wee bit now. Just if you press it down, you get the nice colour in the skin. Have a wee look at this one. That was another wee bit. And another traditional way of eating herring would have been to fry them actually with bacon or bacon fat, and then just with soda bread or wheaten bread, and that's I think that's one of those dishes that you could have at any time of the day. I'll just flip those over there now, and you get that nice colour on the. I'm not going to cook those too much more, and that's. The way to tell is if you just have a wee feel at it, and it's nice. And so what I'm going to do is going to turn that off. It will continue to cook, and then they'll rest a wee bit as well, and then we'll get those plated up. So those are rested nicely there. But see a wee bit of residue heat's coming through. So we just take our salad here, just put the salad down the side of the plate here. And then take our herring. Take this whole sweet in there, just a tiny drizzle of our oil there, and just over the top of the herring, just there. And that's our all that needs is actually some wheaten bread, but that's our dish there. So we've got our lovely herrings, actually come from Portavogie on the east coast, and then we've got our apple, we've got our dulse, which is from the north coast, and a bit of scallion, which is from Strangford down on the east coast. So it's a good old mix. Lovely dish. So you've got nice oily fish, and you've got sharp apple, nice salty dulse, and a bit of scallion.